right? So he was up $210, right? RTY rally up. So what we do, we take him down, right? Guys, see that? Now I will take him off right here. All right, I'm out. So you make $200, $230 on one scalp for 2 seconds. The M2K, if you have taken it, you're up $12. There's $120 on an E-mini, right? Everybody comes down back. Now look for that one standard deviation drop, right? You book your profit, right? So you got the E-mini, right? You take that and you're out. So we short that guy, and now we take the E-mini and we let him run, right? We book 230 here. You got $14, $15 here. He could come here. If I had more than one E-mini, but seeing that this was a counter trend trade, right? I take the profit and run, right? We could take this guy off right here, and we're done. We make $16, $17 here, and we're done. Then we have our YM trade from overnight. I just leave him there. Right, we make a couple $100 on YM. And the Y2 YM, I'm down. I don't know. Micros. I don't know. Did I take him? No, this is about micro. 2 YM micro. Since from last night, I'm down $90. Right? So I leave him on all day. So you guys see that? Anybody take the RTY scalp? The M2K? Then you take it, you put your stop above, and you ride it, right? So Cancel make me some money today. Then look at that. Look at RTY for a long time. Right? See, watch the RTY guy. When it was rallying up, the tips are pointing up, speed to the upside. Come into 1030, I shorted. It back and forth, you take a little heat. All right, and then you get the drop, you book your profit, you're done. All right. I didn't feel like cleaning up all those lines. So what I did, I just reload a fresh view of YM, all right? That's why I did that, all right? Are you guys there? Anybody hearing me? Could you guys hear me? Okay, cool. Everyone, just see how we time that RTY? The micros. Oh. Right, but thank Cancel for showing me this. I use this chart to time it, take a little heat, no problem. We get the drop, make 200 and something dollars, right? Quick, right? Everybody come back into the zone. It's just how much heat you want to take. But going back to this chart, guys, all right? Going back to this chart all. So you know when this guy was having speed to the upside, you could see these tips are pointing away. That's when you got massive speed. If you get in early and you get jacked up, you get out and you reset, you wait. I decide to play it as a 10-30 play, 10-35 play. Got the drop like everybody else, and we out. Done, right? So we look at this guy a little more. We give him some nice his trend. I like this RTY. I traded last year when I was in those with Bruce and them, and it used to work fine. Then I got away from it. Never look at it again, right? But it trends nice, right? See, squeeze, get a little dip here. But one thing, if you put a 5 on 21 crossover on your chart, right? We scalp, all right? So we take profit, we go in and out. But when you see the cloud is getting wide, anytime the cloud get in here, you go into this squeeze. The squeeze give you a heads up when you're consolidating them, right? When the Kelter channel, when the Bollinger Band is inside the Kelter channel, right? That's what the squeeze. The squeeze is just a histogram view of a Kelter channel and a Bollinger Band on the same chart. But watch something about, if you open your chart big, you see the trend better, right? When you see the cloud is getting wider, that means when you got spacing between two moving average, that mean you have a nice trend. Even though we get this little burp here, right? But it was parallel. It wasn't like trending down. But look, price never break the cloud. Price break the cloud here. Here's when price break the cloud. When you start seeing the cloud getting tighter, you know, and then you go into the squeeze, all you want is to squeeze the fire short, right? But when you see, if you're in a long trend trade and you see prices hugging the upper band of the moving average, the fast moving average, which is the 5, the 21 is the low one, and price never break the cloud, you stay in the trade. When price violated the cloud, like what? It tried here to violate it. Remember, I scalped it to make a couple bucks. It tried to violate it, but it went right back into its trend because you still had the green dots, right? So if you open your chart big and you see this kind of movement, you could stick in your chart. You trail, you stop. You trail, you stop, and you ride it. This is when you start worrying, right? When the cloud is starting to get narrow, and then you know something's going to happen, all right? We don't open the chart big enough because we got so many stuff. But if you trade in one asset and you want to master the behavior, this is what you do, right? You look at it. When I start trading, I used to do an 8 and a 21. Look at the RTY. See, falling off a bridge now. I used to do 8 and 21. And then in the middle here, I used to put a 13. And I was always said, if price come and break the 13, most likely and break the 21. And then I would book my profit, right? Just to give me, to keep me sane. But since we got this indicator, the green dots indicator, which is a trailing stop, right? Reversal pattern. Same, we have it on toss. I'll show you how to set it up on toss. It's easy, right? So it's just changing the it's changing the settings, right? So I was able to take that trade and make some money off it. And normally I would trade bigger size, but right. But I use this here for extensions, and it start lining up. Right. I didn't even put on the big one. Now you take the trade off of this chart. All right. And you see how the momentum started to shift. Right. The cloud started narrow. You get a drop, and that's it. You see, I don't mind taking profit when I'm counter trend, when I take it to this counter trend, right? And then it turn into a trend trade. I don't mind. I could have made 600 with that drop, probably make 230, but that's fine. I contend with it. It was a counter trend. You book your profit, look for the next trade. You take what the market give you based on your when you take the trade, am I right? If a student we scale out, we let one run, and then we make more money, right? So, but always trade with one when you're starting out. Use the micros. I use the M2K to time it, right? And then I put on the big guy. It went against you like 40, $50. But I had a stop at $75, right? A virtual stop. And I just let it run, right? Right. But this indicator is a powerful indicator. Kind of give you a heads up when you get into those extreme zones. You see, guys, always come back into the current session. All is about when you get in, though, your timing. If you go in too early in this guy, you're down like a couple of $100, but it eventually all come back. But you don't want to take that much heat when you're scalping them, right? You look for the turn, and that was it. So you make your money, get back into the session, you make your money, you're done. It works in all these guys. It works in every one of them. Extreme move up, extreme move down. All right? If we look at wire, all right? Get into the zone, fall out of the zone. It's all about when you wanted to take it. Yes, available on toss. But I could give you a setup that's similar to this. Okay? I'm going to send it to you in a few minutes. It's the same setup. It's just one thing with toss. You got to swing trade with toss because toss is a little slower. And when you're scalping, like if you want to scalp in a tight range, but if you take a nice long trend trade, you don't worry about, the little bounce back and forth, right? But if you're scalping, it's be a little too erratic. You don't really get a good signal. You get a good signal, but let me find that in there. I'll show it to you. It's only one thing. It has some proprietary indicators in it. All right. Yeah, I learn every day too, right? So every day I learn a little, a little, a little. What? One thing with trading, you got to keep educating yourself. Because one thing you learn about trading, this is the same setup you can sell. Look, see it? Green dots. And all what the setup is, right? This setup is a powerful setup. I wish we could have this setup on Ninja. Because what this indicator here is telling me, like we said, I was doing RTY, right? So we look at RTY, guys. Look at this. All right? Or M2K, whatever you want to look up. We only use a 1 minute chart because we scalping, right? So if we're looking at RTY and RTY having a runaway trade, it's just running away, right? Take a little time to come up. But all what this indicator was, that's how I got the idea to ask the vendor to add it onto their existing swing trend indicator is from when I developed this setup. I say, you know what? This is a little too slow for me. Commissions are too high. I bought my Ninja on 3 installments a couple of years ago before I opened my room. All right. So what that indicator is, I go into the hood of that indicator. I learned this from a guy. All right. I didn't think of this up. And I never used to use it. All right. He used some other indicators that I really didn't like them. So what I do, I take this indicator. And I play with the settings. He gave me an idea how the setting was working. Right? SHA ATR trailing stop. Right? So I take what they give me and I change the ATR period to 9 and the ATR factor to 2.5. That's it. That's all you need to do. Take the indicator that's sitting on toss and make this change. No, the ability to scalp, you gotta got the right platform. All right? And this is why I use these tools. I used to scalp and I make money and then lose it all back because I know what the hell I was doing. Right? Because I didn't know when the swing was coming. And then I decided to learn to trade price action. So watch this, right? That's the setting. Same setting was applied to the Ninja version when I send the requirements to the vendor, right? And that indicator is only $190. If we had to buy this indicator from people that do toss indicators, they want $600, $700. These guys in Germany, right? So this is it. So watch this. It's a beauty if toss was really fast. All right. Maximize this guy. And this same setup. So what the beauty about this indicator? Let me say you get in here, wherever you get in. And you see all these charts. What this indicator is telling you is a multi-time frame chart. So instead of you looking at 5 charts, you're looking at just this to tell you the 1 minute, the bottom row is the 1 minute, whatever settings you have up here, 1 minute. So the first one is 1 minute. And I have the setting here for 2, 3, 4, and 5. You see here? There's a multiplier. So I multiply the base chart, which is 1 times 2 times 3 times 4. So I'm a scalper, right? I don't want to go farther than maybe 10 minutes, right? So I'm looking. So once all these charts is in an uptrend, you continue riding it, right? Only here we got a little blip. Remember when I made a couple bucks from it the first time? You got a little blip. But watch what happened. This guy continues merry way. Remember, price came here when I got a little blip. All right. On Ninja, it didn't show we violated. Here it showed we violate the cloud, right? Well, what? The green dots were still there, right? It violated the cloud, all right? Bam. But never close too close as above the cloud. It just rallied back up. And it stays in the trend, stay in the trend, and then we get a break here. All right? The 1030 pivot. I looked to pivot everything in uptrend when 1030 come. Right? And I got the drop. Watch what happened with the indicator. 1 minute turn, red 2, 3. And that's what happened. That was it. This indicator here, this setup I have, it actually give you a zone that it's going to pivot. This is what I like on top, but toss is too slow for me. It's really behind. These reversal signals change like 2, 3 candles later, and you miss the move. But if you're in this in the big picture, you don't worry, all right, because you're looking at this on toss, you don't worry about a little blip, but this is where you get out. Right here. Right, I took it here, took a little heat, and I got the drop. All right, but I know what I'm looking at. The cloud, this guy never violated the cloud. Keep going, keep going. And they say this cloud is something somebody helped me. I started coding it. I asked for help, and that's how I created the cloud. Then I just suppressed the lines, and this is my torch. This is the same setup I use in Ninja. I didn't know how to code certain stuff, so I code as much as I code. Put the lines on to tell me, This is another indicator from a friend. It tell you, well, they say there's a confirm swing low when you get this line, and they just take it down, continue going down. See that? Confirm. We get this big drop, but it's still confirm. But if I'm in this trade, right, and I look at the time coming into 11 o'clock, and I get this pivot, right? See, I got 11 o'clock pre-euro close. Look, this was a squeeze rally. We get a little pop here, never come below zero. It tells us we're not in a squeeze, all right? Never violated below, it violated here. Momentum shift here, but you can see momentum shift, but it never violated the cloud. When you ride it, that's it. And then I use this guy for extreme moves. I measure how much standard deviation is moving, all right? Measure how much standard deviation is moving. And then I said, okay, it's extreme high, 1030, take the trade. I just don't take it blindly. You go into the squeeze. I explained to you guys about the cloud, am I right? All right. I'm going to find a video so you guys could understand on Think and Swim how the squeeze work. So when I set up my setup on TOS, I didn't know about the squeeze. And the company that sells the squeeze is called Ninjacator. I got it for $70, usually $97. If you buy this squeeze from the guys that developed the new one for TOS, it's $495. Ninja indicators are much cheaper. All right? Could buy indicators for $50 or work or make you money. All right? It's how you package your indicator to get the view that you want. People say, oh, my stuff my stuff have a lot of stuff, but I make money. I know how to read my chart. What I want to go to the vendor, and I'm going to write them, is to take these lines off and put a button here. I see other people got indicators that work like that. So if I want to see overnight high, I click the button, it put it on. So then I got a nice free chart. So I'm going to ask them to develop it. If they want to charge me for it, it's fine. But then they're going to give us a clean chart, and we turn them on when we need them. And then we would have a perfect setup. This indicator too, I asked them 3 years ago to label the indicator. I got too much indicators on here, so I'm getting lost now. They say I asked them to label the lines like 1 standard deviation, 2 standard. I could put a label in here by overlaying another indicator, but it get too messy. The lines don't. The calculations are different, so the lines them don't line up properly. Like here, this label is from another indicator that I overlaid on this other indicator to give me this view. I don't want to have 2 charts that show me VPAC and value area. So I take this indicator from one vendor and I overlay it here and change the setting to make sure they're doing the exact same thing. Meaning they're doing bar close, and one is not doing tick close, and one is not doing bar close. All right? and then I develop my view. You can't buy this like this. I combine stuff by testing them to get the ultimate view, so I don't have to look at multiple charts. I don't have to look at this chart because I have it here. Only look at this chart when we got extreme and how we trading outside the VWAP area. Then I go to this chart looking for entry. But I combine everything in this one chart. They come to these levels, they fail. They can go to the VWAP, they rebound or bounce off for it. Simple. VWAP, hit the VWAP, it don't break the VWAP, it's here. What is the VWAP? Right? VWAP is what institution investors think is a fair value for the underlying asset. Half above or half below. Half above or half below is these dotted lines. Half, 1. 1, 1, 1. Half is the line. So when you see me gauging how much standard deviation to get a trade in RTY, I start measuring how far we came from and how far we went. Right? If I look back, it wasn't, let me say we look, this was RTY. When I look back and it was only trading, like half or 1 standard deviation. That was a 3 standard deviation. Are we outside the session? High probability we come back into the session. See that? Look at this. Come down. Momentum shift. Here. Here. Above. Green dot. Pivot. You see the cloud get narrow here? And they make the move up. But it's got a minor upside right now. All right. So if you miss this move, all right, then you start looking for how you could take it down. But you need tools to do that, right? Yeah, YM was I didn't worry too much about YM because I took a lot. I could scalp the big guy and I had on these guys and it kind of gets, I was down like, well, I don't know, 100, 6 to 1. All right. I'm going to take it off before Biden come out and say what you got to say. Take the little loss. All right. We make the money out of ways. Don't be afraid to take small losses. All right. When you're scalping, your losses have to be small. All right. Because you're going to be getting back in. All right. So we got a pre-euro close. All right. This is one of our signature setup. Pre-euro close, no real reaction, right? If you look at NQ, a euro close and doing nothing. What you would like to see, all right, is that we get closer to 1130. You look for a signal to take it down. If it goes against you, you wait till 1140 when the settlement is occur, right? I got to find a way of getting, I could turn these off manually, right? But I got to write the vendor. Once we clean this up, right, we could turn them on, look at them. We got a nice clean chart. That's my next project, right? Don't worry, I'll send you it. I'll give you the setup. Cancel, I will give you the setup. I'm going to share it. If I try to share it on TOS right now, going to black out TOS is just cripple my system. Because I got a lot, you see I got a lot of stuff running on TOS. I got all these stuff. I'm looking at big picture, all right? Looking for the turn, the big crash turn. So I got a lot of stuff running on TOS. So my TOS is what I use for big picture analysis. But I'm going to give you the setup that I show you. So don't worry, add it to your chart. Then if you don't like stuff, you could always, go and uncheck them off and turn them on when you need them. But I will walk you through with them, right?